You have to also look at the worldview of the would-be leader. All right, because if you see someone who is narrow-minded, who sees things only from his perspective, they view public policy from the prism of their identity. So if, for instance, a Buhari wants to appoint someone, he wants to appoint someone from his tribe or from his region or from his religion. And so if they are designing public policies, they are designing public policies that favor them. But the unfortunate thing with that is that you're not the only person in the country. Alright, so the people who you exclude will feel that sense of exclusion. For instance, today I am sure many people heard the commentaries, especially coming from the core north, where core northerners are saying that, oh, Tinubu is moving CBN to Lagos, oh, Tinubu is giving all the appointment to Yorubas. So you want to have that sense of fairness. You may not be able to build an egalitarian society where everybody feel equally treated and want to contribute equally to the development. So what you would have is that when Igbos are at the helms, if you have that identity issue, Igbos will like to favor the Igbos. When you have Hausas at the helm, they will like to favor Hausas. When you have Fulanis, they will like to favor Fulanis. But sometimes it is even beyond that, because if it is just currying mere favor, it is easier. But the thing is that there will be suspicion of domination, that people will now say, oh, I think they want to dominate me. Oh, I think they want, it's a conquest of some sort. For instance, you've had it in Lagos. Oh, I think Igbos want to buy up all the properties in Lagos. So when you begin to have such conversations, it ultimately snowballs into conflicts. Now that conflict may take 30 years in the making. Now that conflict may take 20 or 25 years in the making. Sometimes it could take up to 50 years in the making. But if it is not addressed, it eventually comes. And that's why that as Nigeria journeys into statehood and nationhood, that it's important that political actors are cosmopolitan. Yeah, you may have been from Yoruba or from Hausa or from Fulani, but now you are elected the president of not just Yorubas in Nigeria, but the president of the Federal Republic. So you must expand yourself. For instance, I wrote an article about a former governor of my state, Governor Willie Obiano. Governor was elected to become the governor of Anambra State, but he could not bring himself to find the difference between being the governor of Anambra State from Aguleri and being the governor of Aguleri, which is his hometown, because it appeared as if he was citing all developmental projects in his hometown to the exclusion and to the air of other local governments in the state. And if you take that same person to make him the president of Nigeria, he will undoubtedly cite almost all the developmental projects in his state. If you take that person, if there is something like a unified Africa, and you take that same person and make him the president of a quote-unquote unified Africa, he will still take and cite developmental projects in his own side of the country. And then even when you are dealing with the state, it is not just all parts of the state, it is his religious side of the state. Alright, so when people are low in their thinking or low in aspiration, or when people have not yet come to the place where they find that there is a national aspiration and they now have a national office, they can sometimes reduce themselves or reduce the office. So I will indeed say that Buhari reduced the office of the president of Nigeria to a tribal office. He reduced it to a religious office. He found ways to promote his tribal interest, and he found ways to promote his religious interest, oftentimes to the disadvantage of the rest of Nigeria. And that was why you saw that Nigeria felt as if it was coming undone under that president.